All right, so move on to the next segment. We're going to pivot over here to the world of boxing, and I'll be sharing my top 10 super welterweight boxers in the sport of boxing today. So my list will start at 1, working our way to the number 10. So, in my opinion, these are my top 10 super welterweight boxers in the sport of boxing today. Number 1, I'm going to go with Sebastian Fundora, the 6'5" cheat code WBC super welterweight champion. I do believe he's the best fighter that the 154-pound division in the sport of boxing has to offer today. Number 2, I'm going to go with Vergil Ortiz. I think Vergil Ortiz has all the ingredients, all the tools to be the next big thing in the sport of boxing. I'm a big fan of what he possesses. He's a KO machine. I think he's the second best fighter that this division has to offer today. Number 3, I'm going to go with Bakaram, could be the new boogeyman of this division. He's the IBF champion, put the world on notice when he knocked out Tim Tszyu and won that vacant IBF title last year. Number 4, I'm going to go with Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas, the WBO champion, a young world champion at 22, 23 years of age. I think he could be a really good fighter in this division. Number 5, I'm going to go with Jerome Boots Ennis. Would be higher if he was at this division for a little bit longer, but I was impressed with his first round knockout that he had and his debut to the division earlier on in the month. Number 6, I'm going to go with Jermell Charlo. He was the first ever and the only ever undisputed champion at the super welterweight division. The only reason why I have him lower is due to inactivity. Number 7, I'm going to go with Israel Madrimov. 8, I'm going to go with Erickson Lubin. 9, I'm going to go with Abbas, the new guy on the block as well at this division, the WBA champion. And at number 10, I'll go with Tim Tszyu at number 10. But let's get into a deeper dive why I have these fighters ranked in my top 10 rankings for what is, in my opinion, the deepest division right now in the sport of boxing, the super welterweight division. Number 1, Sebastian Fundora. Again, he's number 1 on my list, and he deserves to be number 1 on my list. He has 23 victories, 1 loss, 1 draw to his resume, 15 victories come away of knockout, is the reigning defending WBC champion at this division. Now, for people that do follow this division, he was the unified champion of this division. He was the WBC and the WBO unified champions at this division, but gave Tim Tszyu a rematch during the summer, and it came at a pretty price. He was forced to vacate the WBO title to give Tim Tszyu that proper rematch, because if you guys remember the Easter weekend of 2024, that bloodbath that him and Tim Tszyu had, I'm not saying it could have determined how that fight would have went that night, because the rematch basically showed us why Sebastian Fundora was a better fighter, but I get why Sebastian Fundora went down the route, got a bigger payday against Tim Tszyu, but had to vacate the WBO title, unfortunately, in the process. But yes, he is a 6'5" cheat code. He is good at controlling the pace of boxing fights. He has that stiff jab that keeps his opponents off of him. He has the ability to land punches in range. Really good at fighting in the inside. Can get the knockout when needed. He has a vicious uppercut when he's fighting in the inside as well. I think Sebastian Fundora, until proven otherwise, is the man to beat. And if you're going to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right now, I think Sebastian Fundora is the man at 154. He's the best fighter that this division has to offer today. Number 2, I'm going to go with Vergil Ortiz. Again, Vergil Ortiz has all the ingredients to be the next big thing in the sport of boxing. 23-0, 21 victories come away of knockout. Very fun fighter to watch. Dangerous knockout power, the mental toughness that Vergil Ortiz brings to the boxing ring every time he performs. A fighter that's built off of grit and determination. He's with Golden Boy Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya that believes in him. I think Vergil Ortiz also has tremendous stamina, good footwork, and a great counter puncher. Again, I think he has all the skills to take over this division. Time will tell once he fights more better competition. And it starts with his fight in a few weeks against Erickson Lubin. Number 3, again, Bakaram, the IBF champion, is 23-0, 17 victories coming away of knockout. He put the world on notice, because for someone that's a diehard boxing fan, I never knew who the hell Bakaram was until he knocked out Tim Tszyu, fighting for that vacant IBF title last year. And he put this division on notice, and I think he can honestly be the boogeyman of this division if he keeps up this momentum. But I think he is a really good pressure fighter that can earn the knockout victories. I think he could be a really dominant fighter at this division as time goes on. Number 4, we have Xander Zayas. Again, Xander Zayas, I think he could be in line for having a bright future in the sport. He's 22-0, 13 victories going away of knockout, the WBO champion, young world champion, 23 years of age, groomed well by Bob Arum and Top Rank up to this particular point, won the vacant WBO title during the summer. I think he possesses a strong left hook and has an impressive right hand as well. I think Xander Zayas is going to heat up this division as well as time goes on. There's so many good fighters, guys. 5, my guy, Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Ennis is 35-0, 31 victories come away of knockout. Impressive debut at this division a few weeks ago. A very versatile fighter. He's not a one-trick pony. I think Jaron Ennis has more skills than anybody else, respectfully, at this division. Again, you got to prove yourself like the other guys have at this division, but I think Jaron Ennis is the perfect package. I mean, he has explosive knockout power, great counterpuncher, intelligent boxing IQ. I think he has all the skills to take over this division as well. That's why I think this is the deepest division, because there's so many guys that could beat so many other guys, and there's so many fights that could be 50-50 fights. We're not going to know until we get all these fighters fighting each other. I hope 2026 is the year that this division explodes. But getting more deeper into the list, 6, Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is the real OG of this division. 35 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. 19 victories come away of knockout. First ever undisputed champion at this division. Lower in the rankings, again, due to inactivity. We have not seen Jermell Charlo in a boxing rings for 2 calendar years and counting. Because the last time he was in the boxing ring, he decided to take the payday when he was the undisputed champion, not fight his mandatory at the time, which was Tim Tszyu, went ahead and moved up to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez, was stripped of all 4 of the prestigious titles at this division, and then laid an egg against Canelo Alvarez. Didn't even come to try, just came for the lay down and collect the biggest payday of his career. But I think he's still a great fighter. It's just he's got to get back into it. 7, I have Isra Madrimov. Isra Madrimov, 10 victories, 2 losses, 1 draw, 7 knockout victories. Former WBA champion, generates explosive power, has great footwork, can fight in different lot of movements. I think Isra Madrimov is a good fighter, and Eddie Hearn believes in his guy. Unfortunately, just in his last 2 fights, just ran into 2 great fighters. And Terrence Crawford gave Terrence Crawford actually a run for his money, a harder fight than what Canelo Alvarez gave him, respectfully. And then that fight against Vergil Ortiz was really good for him until the 9th round, up until the 12th round. That's where he started to slip and fade away. But I think Isra Madrimov is still a really good fighter in this division. 8, Erickson Lupin, another veteran guy. 27 victories, 2 losses, 19 victories come away of knockout. Powerful puncher. His boxing experience mixed with this strong amateur background helped him become a gritty veteran in one of the deepest divisions that boxing has to offer today. We'll see how he does against Vergil Ortiz when those 2 respective fighters fight each other in the next few weeks at this division. Number 9, Abbas. He's 17-1, 19 victories come away of knockout, WBA champion at this division. He's actually the new wild card, because this is another fighter that I really wasn't familiar with until late in the summer. He's a bit underrated from the film that I've watched over the last few weeks of him. Won the interim WBA title during the summer, which then he got elevated to becoming the new WBA champion, because Terrence Crawford was the WBA champion when he defeated Isra Madrimov for the title last summer. When he moved up to 168, became undisputed. The WBA stripped Crawford of the only title that he had left at this division, and therefore Abbas became the new WBA champion. So time will tell how he will perform at this division. And at 10, I got Tim Tszyu, 25 victories, 3 losses, 18 victories come away of knockout. There's 2 championship losses against, 3 championship losses against Sebastian Fundora twice. Lost the first fight by decision. They got knocked out in the rematch, and then Bakaram knocked him out. I'm not even sure how he got in position to get the Sebastian Fundora rematch that quickly. Did pick up a victory early spring before that fight, but hey, I guess that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes in boxing. But there's so many unproven questions, or I should say so many question marks, so many questions that have not been answered early on in this division. There's so many new names, new faces. There's so many tremendous fights that should be made. 2026, we need to see some title unifications some big fights like Jaron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz. Let's see Xander Zayas and Sebastian Fundora mix it up for a title unification. Let's see Bakaram possibly get in there, defend his IBF title against a big name. Like, this division has so much to offer. I think 2026 is going to show why this is the deepest division that the sport of boxing has to offer today.